On a gathering storm comes a tall, handsome man in a dusty black coat with a red right hand.
Alright, hey, and welcome to our Sunday special, Let's Read Hellboy. Now, I've actually never read this book. A long time ago, in a galaxy far away, when I was in college, I saw a movie coming out that looked really cool, which was Hellboy. That was my introduction to Hellboy. I'd never heard of it or seen it before, and that movie was so damn amazing. It was a Guillermo del Toro Hellboy movie, and Ron Perlman was just a fucking amazing Hellboy. I wish I could do a good Ron Perlman impression so I could do Hellboy properly, but I can't. So I'm just going to have to kind of gravelly voice wing it. Sorry. I hope you enjoy this. It was by request, and we're going to be reading the Hellboy Omnibus edition for Seed of Destruction. I think it's, Seed of Destruction. And this is the Hellboy origin story, and if this stuff goes well, we may make a regular thing out of it. It's not as short as the Dread books that we've been reading, because of course the Dread is just a bit in a collection, where Hellboy is its own book. So it's a lot longer between sections. It's not just 3 or 4 panel or pages. We're talking significant amount of stuff. So we'll see how this goes and how well I do. I feel that I'll probably do a terrible job of maintaining voices, but we'll work on it, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, this is Let's Read Hellboy, Seed of Destruction, and hopefully you enjoy it. And here we go. So, John Mignola and Mike Byron doing the work on this guy. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Mignola's art style. It's fine. I just feel like I like a more detailed style than his. That's not to say it's crap. I just prefer a little bit more detail than he does. He does more impressionistic art. That's fine. It's the story we're interested in. The art only adds to the depth. So let's step in. And we've got our title page and all the business info, which I am not reading off. And we've got story and art by Mike Mignola. Part 1. Seed of Destruction, and you can see it starts on page 4 and ends on 109, or the next one starts on 109. Good. That's a lot of reading, and I will not be using the Dread voice for this because that rips up my throat. Like I said, we'll just use kind of a gravelly voice for Hellboy. Anyway, Seed of Destruction, Chapter 1, and I'm not sure how many chapters there are here, so we may just do chapter 1 and then pick up with the next chapter next week. Journal of First Sergeant George Whitman, USA, 12/23/44, East Bromwich, England. Blah, 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 blah. This may not go well. I'm already fucking everything up. East Bromwich, England. We've been here for 2 days now, and it isn't getting any better. All the men are jittery in this place. Maybe if it had a name. Maybe if the people in the village would even talk about it, but they won't. Not even telling them there could be a crack team of Nazi commandos lurking about somewhere gets anything out of them. They just look at you like Nazis are maybe the last thing in the world they need to worry about. If that were true, we wouldn't be here. Okay, this is what we know. This is what we think we know. Hitler sent some kind of team to England. I called them commandos, but there's a trio of people from the British Paranormal Society who say they're more than that. They say the Germans are some kind of spook squad, that the Krauts are here to perform some kind of spell or something, summon monsters, raise the dead. Yeah, right. But whatever it is, it got the top brass worried enough to send a special ranger unit to look into it, and the Torch of Liberty is here with us. Funny to see him standing there having a cup of joe with the rest of the guys. I'm more used to seeing him jumping around in the newsreels, fighting some cockamamie Nazi menace. Seems like an okay guy, though. And he believes this whole business. He says his own sources confirm the Nazis are in the final stages of something called Project Ragnarok. I don't think our limey friends were too thrilled to learn it took the Torch's word to make us believe them. Yeah. There's three of them. There's Professor Malcolm Frost from Blackfriars College, stateside. Trevor Brutenholm, pronounced Broom, who's some kind of paranormal whiz kid, and Lady Cynthia Eden Jones, who's supposed to be England's top medium. And in charge of this Looney Tune party is me, a guy who never even heard the word paranormal before a week ago. Anyway, 2 days camped out in this holiday camp, and so far, nothing. No spooks, no monsters, no Nazis. But Lady Cynthia says it's going to happen here, and it's going to happen tonight. The only thing is, she can't just say just what it is. Well, Broom, you're, I'm trying to read this word, I'm sorry, that's a U. Well, Broom, your reputation got us here, but so far all we're doing is freezing our dainty little butts off. Sergeant, I have spent the last 9 years studying this place, trying to discover what happened here long ago. That it was so horrible. It was so horrible. It erased all willingness of the locals to even discuss the matter. When Lady Cynthia told me the disturbance she had sensed was in the ether. She had sensed in. Try again. When Lady Cynthia told me the disturbance she sensed in the ether was centered here. No, wait. There is a second center. But it is far to the north of here. Well, I'm putting a German accent on her. What's wrong with me? I could do a horrible Australian-sounding English accent. Oi, but it's far to the north of here. That's Lady Cynthia now. But it's far to the north of here. Far north. I sense cold and water. It's a tiny island just off the Scottish coast. Chained up. Chained in heaven are they? Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong voice. I gotta try and do a Russian voice. This is good luck to me. Chained in heaven are they? 7 is their number. Bred in the depths of the ocean. Neither male nor female they are. They are as howling wind, and knoweth not mercy, which knoweth not pity. Heedless are they to prayer and supplication. They are serpents. They are the serpent. They are the furious beast, the windstorm. Evil winds they are, the evil breath that heraldeth the painful storm. They are mighty children, heralds of pestilence, throne bearers of Esregal. I think I'm saying that right. Okay, anyway. It's Esregal now. Increase the power and don't let the level drop. I shall not. But if this continues much longer, we shall be in great danger of burning out the primary coils. They are the flood which rushes through the land, 7 gods of might, 7 demons of oppression, 7 in heaven, 7 on earth. Okay. I guess we'll start with the big long left panel. Of giant strength and giant tread are they, knowing no care they grind the land like corn, knowing no mercy they rage against mankind to spill blood like rain and devour flesh. They let they 7 now rise from the abyss, away be cast all chains, freedom is to them, power is to them. Oh, I feel it, pain, terrible anguish, as of a great tragedy, a tragedy from many years ago. It is this I sensed, this which brought me here. It is this older sorrow which now draws upon the evil forces let loose into the world tonight. The focus is drifting. More power. If we lose it now, we are not alone here. There are troubled spirits. Holy spirits, a priest, a nun, their shades are with us. It is their pain which haunts this place, their secret which stains these ancient stones. They have a message. They say something is coming. And we see the guy with the weird-looking metal thing on his hand smashing whatever the fuck that is. What the? Cynthia, your ladyship, get down. And there's this big, I don't know if that's fire or lightning or what, but kaboom. And standing here is Mr. Ceremony with a smoking gauntlet, broken wires. Well, this bleak place seems remarkably unchanged for a miracle to have occurred here. Spare me your sarcasm, Von Krot. My sarcasm is the very least of your worries, sorcerer. You promised the Führer a miracle, something which would reverse the course of this war and ensure victory for the Reich. Hitler does not take kindly to failure. I have not failed, Von Krot. I have set in motion events which I have set in motion events which cannot flop. I'll take a drink. Just water, guys. I have set in motion events which cannot now be reversed or undone. I promised Herr Hitler a miracle. I have made one. Holy! Shoot it! Kill it! It's a demon come from hell to destroy us all! It doesn't look too dangerous to me, Professor. It looks like a little boy. Hellboy. And there's a picture of everybody with the Hellboy. Hellboy, I could not guess when I was can't read right. Hellboy, I could not guess that when I could not guess then that I was naming him. But the Hellboy incident it became, and the Hellboy incident it has remained all these years. Years in which our best efforts to uncover his secrets have ultimately left us knowing little more than we did that first day 35 years ago. 35 years. Closer to 50 now. And yet, so much more. As though it belonged to another lifetime. Someone else's lifetime, and not mine anymore. I feel cut in half, cut off from my past no, I can't remember. Too old. You look just fine to me, sir. It's been 10 months since the Cavendish expedition was given up for lost. The whole world thinks you're dead. It's good to see you alive, sir. And yet, it isn't. For as long as I can remember, Trevor Broom has been like a father to me. To see him like this, shadow of the man he was the last time I saw him. You came. Thank you. It makes me feel somehow like it might have been better if he had died. Click goes the thing on the table, the recorder. There is something I must tell you, Hellboy. Something very important. But I can't remember. I can't. Take it easy. Yes, sir, it's slow and easy like you taught me. Let it come out at its own pace. I talk to him calmly, steadily, like there's nothing to worry about. Like the look on his face doesn't send cold shudders up and down my spine. Finally, the expedition. The 3 Cavendish boys, Sven Olafsson, the renowned Arctic explorer, and me. Yes, I remember 19 days out of Bull Harbor, 15 days by icebreaker, then snow tractor, finally crossing the Hertzfeld Ridge on foot. The top of the world, so silent, so empty. And there, right where the Cavendish boys said it would be, right where 9 generations of the family were sure it would be, 9 generations who died trying to reach the spot on which we stood. The ruins, frozen older than the temple at Yanko. Inside that silent, inside dark, silent, like the age of all the world was crammed into that narrow space. And there, squatting. I've been doing the wrong voice. Oh well, suck it up. And there, squatting in the darkness, part of the darkness, part of the silence, the age. You remember I showed you the pictures of the statues found in Khufu in the 30s. It was like them, but bigger, 100 times bigger. And seated in front of it, surrounded by it, almost as though it were part of it, human in form, cold, frozen, such exquisite detail in the carving, almost like something alive. And then we have the yellowy eye, and then the yellowy frame. No, it's all a blur. Nothing makes sense. Details, events all out of order. Screaming, I remembered I was screaming. And then there was the New York skyline. I was jumped overboard and swam to shore and came here. Before that, on the icebreaker again. No idea how I got there. I got here. I called you. You came. Shh. Don't worry, sir. Everything is fine now. I'm here. We'll work everything out. Just take your time. Don't push yourself. No, pushed myself enough in the last... How long has it been? 10 months, you said. 10 months of my life. I just can't remember. And in the background we see frogs. Sir, you've got frogs. Ow. Ah! Run! In God's name! Run! In God's name, Hellboy! Get away! Save yourself! As Broom goes rushing out of the room. Sir? Sir? Crash! As he comes crashing back through the door he ran out of. Wonk. His eyes are that yellowy color. He's covered in puncture marks, sucker marks. I don't know. I'd be the first to admit that I have no shortage of faults. But if I had to pick one, the one that's gotten me into more trouble over the years, it would be that I sometimes get angry. And when I get angry, I sometimes do stupid things. Things like charging headlong into a pitch-black room. I'm tougher and stronger than any human. But I can't see in the dark any better. Or I can't see any better in the dark. I wish I could. Ugh! His gun gets knocked out of his hands. Gah! And there's this thing biting him, and then its tongue goes around him. Yeah! Punches the crap out of him with the big stone hand. Cut that out! He did something to me. His tongue was wrapped around my arm for all of 2 seconds. But now everything south of my elbow might as well be made of wood. And my frog-faced friend is coming back to finish the job. And Trixie's gonna lay right where my hand goes. He's fast. But this time I'm faster. It's not my flesh and arm blood he gets a hold on. I let him get a taste of my right hand. The hand the best scientists of the last half-century have tried and failed to analyze. They couldn't find out anything. But at least I know one thing about it. It doesn't feel pain. And he just flips Frog Boy off of him into the sarcophagus. I wonder if Froggy does. I guess I'd say yes. At least something made him change his attitude all of a sudden. He staggers around a bit like he's trying to decide what to do next. I decide to help him make up his mind. The feeling's creeping back into my left hand. Mostly it's the worst pain I've ever felt. And I've been hurt by experts. But feeling that also let me grab a hold of the pistol the Torch of Liberty gave me. I don't know who Froggy is or where he came from, but he obviously knows a gun when he sees one. He bolts for the closest window. It happens to be the bathroom. And I'm going to let him get outside like hell. Blam! Froggy takes one in his torso. Well, that's all for you. What falls from the top of the commode is a frog monster. What hits the floor isn't. I stumble back down the hall and make a call to the head office, to the Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense. Dr. Manning, Hellboy is on line 7. Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Manning, Hellboy is on line 7. Hellboy, are you all right? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm still in Brooklyn. No, he's dead. Something was here, something that wasn't human. No, I can't even guess what it was. You better send in some of the lab guys and let them figure it out. Right, yes, of course. You're free to assemble your own team, as always. And Hellboy, I'm sorry about Professor Broom. I know you two were close. Yes, goodbye. Well, gentlemen, it would appear we have another messy one on our hands. It is done. He is dead. We are proceeding. Then you will keep your promise? Yes, Emma. Soon. Very soon. We see a frog in her glass of tea. Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense. File 2679999. I may have read too many nines. 9/16/48. The Nazi Ragnarok Project. The Fatal Destiny. To the best determination of the assigned investigative team, Ragnarok was one of Hitler's many doomsday projects initiated in the closing days of World War II. Principally, there were known to be 5 individuals, see photos below, involved at key steps of the project. And so far as has been determined, all 5 were present in the final moments. The project was apparently headed by General Klaus Werner von Krupp. See addendum under photo. The accumulation of several years' work by the individuals, the ritual performed on Termagant Island, see map on page 162 on 23rd December 1944, corresponds precisely with the manifestation of the creature codenamed Hellboy. See file 25891. The so-called Hellboy incident. Professor Trevor Broom and his staff have examined both Hellboy and the site on Termagant Island extensively, and although no physical evidence can be found to link the events, it seems likely that their temporal juxtaposition is merely a coincidence. Photo to the left, von Krupp, Klaus Werner. Photo taken 12/2/45. Committed to Eisenwald Sanatorium. Died 6 months later. Body discovered to be infested with beetles of unknown species. No explanation. Leopold Kurtz. Born 10/11/15. Whereabouts? Unknown. Ilse Hupstein. Hauptstein? I don't know. Born 6/7/19. Whereabouts? Unknown. Professor Dr. Karl Rupert Cronin. Or Ruprecht Cronin. Born unknown. Whereabouts unknown. Name? Unknown. Born unknown. Whereabouts unknown. BPRD. Frogs. Frogs, like snakes, scorpions, ravens, and black cats, are traditionally considered harbingers of doom, witnessed by the following tale, an African myth about a frog. On a day when little water was to be found, man spent a while in thought and realized that he might one day die, never to rise again. Man sent dog to God to ask that he might come back to life again, like the flowering plant after death. Dog went off and followed his nose toward God. He was soon distracted by the smell of soup, and followed his hunger towards the source. Leaning close to watch it boil, Dog was content and forgot his mission. Seeing Dog was lost, Frog took it upon himself to go to God, and tell him that man did not want to live again. If man were reborn, thought Frog, he would soon muddy the rivers and destroy the birthplaces of frogs. Dog finally arrived to tell God man's message. Leaning low, he crooned man's need for rebirth in the song of his howl. God was touched by the devotion of Dog for man, but God granted Frog's wish because he got there first. Ouch. I think this is the last page. Yeah. So, next time on Let's Read Hellboy, Chapter 2. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you next time.
You're one microscopic cog in his catastrophic plan, designed and directed